Good evening, agenda peeps and peepettes. It's 8:30. This is the agenda. It's me, Mr. B, my right-hand man, OMONDI Juma, and the superstar, the newest addition to the crew, Paddy. Today we talk a Zoom call and whether our youth, low knees youth players will be given a chance. Good evening, guys. Welcome to another one. As our ritual now, our what's the word? Our guaranteed slot, 8:30. Monday, how you doing, big man?
Yeah, I'm good. Just coming from work. I'm ready to go. I'm really excited to talk about these topics today. I'm always excited to talk about anything to do with Man United. But yeah, you know what it is? Lately, there's a lot of change, isn't there? And we got to keep on top of it. So every day the news is changing, and I want to see the developments about our club, what happens for the future. So yeah, it's good times at the moment.
Paddy,
yeah.
No see. How you doing, big man?
I'm good. I'm very good. Yeah, you know, obviously, like just Monday just saying, then I'm really excited about the future. Obviously, in some respects, I want the season to end so we can start again. Press the reset button. So I'm really looking forward. You know, and again, I'm very excited now. I know we have to deal with what's happening towards the end of the season. It's not over yet, is it? So you never know. There could be twists and turns. You might get top four. Who knows? Let's see.
Oh, Paddy, that's what I love. I love your talk and solo optimism. I love it. I'm loving it.
No, you never know. Thank you, Thomas, but I'm not. You never know. Another Nostradamus. I don't know. Yeah, I'm both.
Well, look, we know the last couple of weeks we've had it confirmed in the last couple of days that Ten Hag is the guy who will be taking us forward. Whether he takes us to the promised land, who knows? But one thing I'm sure is it's got to be better than it has been this season. So look, we've been notified. It's out there that he's going to make some Zoom calls to the players. My question to both of you guys in the comments is, do you think he's going to call everybody? Is there players who you think he might beg to stay? Who do you think he's going to call first? You know what? First, on Monday. Who do you think he's going to call first? Is he going to call everybody? Is he going to call the whole squad? Is it going to be a group call?
All right. I think this Zoom call is very interesting. I mean, first time. Look, we're in 2022. This is new technology at its finest, you know. Getting to have a conversation like that. So my advice, firstly, to all these players is sharpen up. It's like a job interview. You like having to reapply for your job, isn't it? You're coming in again. So you think you're comfortable at a club. You're getting a Zoom call one day. You're going to have to sit down and sort out your Wi-Fi. You know what? Maybe these guys should phone into the Man United agenda. Get some tips about how to get the best background. I mean, Mr. B's got a great background there. Very impressive. Same with Paddy. You know, he's showing what he's all about. I've got my dogs and everything else. I'm showing I'm a family man. I'm a nice guy. I like dogs. Who doesn't? You know, I'm going to be a nice guy. Sure. So if I was one of these guys, I'd have their mum there, family members, the wife, the doting wife, to look like you're really serious, you know. And that's really impressive. So I like the style. I like what he's doing. Already it's like putting a bit of gulp into the players. A Zoom call. What is this? You know? So they're going to have to represent. And everyone gets nervous at job interviews. So it's really interesting. I like the idea of that. And I do think he's going to be interviewing everybody. And he will be saying to people quite bluntly, I've looked at you. I've had a report on you. I don't think it's going to work out. Have you considered moving on? To people if that's the case, you know? And I think there's ones he might like. He's going to be asking them questions without any revealing it too much. Maybe to explain to them what he does, what he expects from players and that kind of thing. And then maybe with that window of the summer break or the pre-season, they will know what to expect because he's very detailed, very diligent about what he demands from his players. And they will see from day one what the high expectations that he demands from his players. So it's really interesting. I hope the players are nervous and I hope the players have to step it up now and have a big attitude adjustment. I don't know what Paddy thinks, but I think it's a great idea.
Well, yeah, I think it is a good idea because we're all on Zoom now, but I just don't think it gives the best. It doesn't give a human interaction like you do when you go into you go into a meeting room, for example. But he's making the Zoom calls. He's got a report. Yeah, he can't actually. He'll probably do that later on. But what I would like to see is a bit of ruthlessness. I did say this over weeks and weeks about ruthlessness. I mean, as he's been with Guardiola at Bayern Munich, I hope he's learned a bit of ruthlessness from Pep. And I'm also, what I want to see, when Fergie used to have his office at the bottom of the office, and you said, you've got to go and see the boss. You go, why? And I want to see that bit of fear of going down to the boss, into the boss's office, like Ten Hag's on the Zoom call, and then bit of fear and saying, yeah, you're not for me. Thank you so much for your you'll be gone. You'll be gone. And you're not my keeper next year. You're not my centre back. You're not my captain, Maguire, next year. I'll be moving. I want to see, I love it. Direct. Here we go. And this is happening over the next 3 weeks, apparently, the reports have. And he's been advised by, and you mentioned Van Basten last night, on Monday, to give Ronaldo a bit of a, give him a role next season, which I'm really pleased to hear. I suspect he may do that from reports.
Van Basten.
Yeah, as advised, Ten Hag on giving Ronaldo next year a bit of a role in the team. So that's good. I think that's a good idea. I think that's.
I mean, what I'm understanding from you guys then is that if he's going to trust Ralf, somebody who he hasn't necessarily worked with, but they know each other through the circuit.
Right.
Do you think he's going to 100% trust Ralf to make his decisions in regards to, obviously, Ralph's worked these players for 6 months. We know he's got that dossier of death ready to hand to Ten Hag. But do you think Ten Hag is going to be looking at that itself? Or do you think he's going to, look, okay, suppose, for example, Ralf is saying Rashford is no good. But just the first name that came into my head. Do you think that then? Right. Ralf has obviously given Ten Hag this advice. Do you think Ten Hag is going to take it upon himself to have a look himself, or do you think he's actually going to trust? He's going to trust the information that he's been given, because you lot are both saying he's going to be calling them and telling them they're on their bike.
Well, no. What I'm saying, Mr. B, is that he's obviously got a bit of advice from from Rangnick, definitely from Ralf. But for example, I think he's going to give Marcus. He's going to have his own opinion. He's his own man, Ten Hag, and he may give Rashford, for example. You brought up Rashford. In reports suggest he's probably one of the first people to have a Zoom call and say, you're one of the players I really want to keep here and really cherish and give him a chance. So I think that's for reports that we hear. So I think that he will have a dossier, but I think he'll have Ten Hag, and I hope, and I've got high hopes for him, will have his own mind. Thank you, Ralf. Thank you for your dossier. But unfortunately, making my decision. Thank you. And I think that's what's going to happen. That's what I think. Anyway, I think he's going to have his own man. I did come back to again about having this ruthlessness. He's going to have his viewpoint on these players, and that's it. He'll have a view on it, and that'll be his view. Not Ralph's. Yes, thank you, but unfortunately, I've got my view, and that's it. And I use it. He used these methods at Ajax. That's it.
I tend to differ. I think this is part of the process. I think they've been communicating all along. Obviously, you can't come out and say that because he's a manager of Ajax at the time. From sources that I've heard, I think Ten Hag's been getting a lot of feedback from Ralf all along and telling him what's been going on. We've seen this because there's a big upheaval, isn't there, at the moment at the club, with players coming out and being disappointed and things, because they're getting called out, they're getting aired out now. Nothing, you can't hide. It's like shining a light behind the fridge or moving the fridge. All the cockroaches, when you shine a light on them, they start to scarper, don't they? And run away. So they like to be in the darkness and do their dirty deeds behind closed doors. But it's not going to work like that anymore. New manager, new attitude for the club. I think Ten Hag's known for a long time now. And I think he's getting, like you said, getting a good dossier report about players. Not just about, he can watch Match of the Day. He can watch Premiership football and see, oh, that's a good player. But you need to know about the character of players. And that's what Ralph's got insight into right now. So Ralf will be clear. I guarantee you, Ralf will be, whether they're friends or not, they're in the football circles, whatever, Ralf will be informing Ten Hag and has been informing Ten Hag over a long period of time now what is lacking with certain players and character, that kind of thing. And Ten Hag will be asking the questions that he needs to know whether he can work with these guys. He might say, for example, you mentioned Rashford, Mr. B. So Rashford, obviously, he's gone off the boil. At one point, he was one of the most highly touted youngsters in Europe. So he might be thinking, oh, that's a good player. I played against him in the final of the 2017. My team did. He's a good player. I'd like to work for him. But then you see the form, you see issues, you say, so you would say to Ralph, what's going on with Rashford? And that conversation, I wish it was bugged because we don't know to this day what's going on with Rashford. We still don't know. So these is conversation they will be having. And I think it's very important to have a smooth transition from Ralph to the manager, like it's all been pre-planned. I think that this is a vital part of it, to assess the squad, because there's not much time. How long's the break for the season before they get into the real business? How long before they identify players they want to buy? How long? And equally, they've got to identify who they want to stay. So the first step of this is to have face-to-face meetings. And as a psychologist, as every football manager needs to be, he will be able to assess, regardless if it's in person or not, on Zoom, who's coming over. So say, for example, he has a meeting with Rashford, and Rashford comes across really well and says a lot of stuff. He might be thinking, hold on a minute, this ain't what Ralph told me. You're a real bad guy. You out, doing late nights and doing all this kind of raving and do whatever, and you're telling me you're not. So that would be a great indication, indicator for him to say, okay, and body language as well. You put someone on the spot and they're scratching, doing the old Rooney or touching his ear when he's saying, he didn't go out, or that kind of thing. It'll be very interesting. I think this is very clever by Ten Hag. It puts him in a great position to say, I'm senior, I'm your boss, and you're going to come for an interview. So I put that back to a job interview kind of a situation. You always feel you're on your best behavior, you want to impress, and you feel a bit intimidated because because you're asking the questions being asked of you. Now, sometimes the players, I think, could switch it and say to them, there's certain players who might be in a bit of limbo and think, do I have a future at club? We're going to come to some of those players in a bit, but they might be asking the questions of Ten Hag. What can you do for me? I want to stay at the club. What can you do for me? So it worked both ways, but I think mainly it's going to be Ten Hag trying to assess from the players who's really on it based on character reports.
Well, can I come back to you on that, Mr. OMONDI? Yeah, I get that, but what I will say is that he's got to come in with his own view of two or three players. Not in my plans. I'll be moving you one straight away. I hope that happens, because what usually a new manager comes in and goes, I'm going to give these players a bit of, I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to give them they've got pre-season. The first few games, I'm going to give them a chance to shine in front of me, and then I make that decision. I hope that doesn't happen on Monday. I want the decision made before then. That might be a bit callous, might be a bit cruel, it might be a bit to the point, but I hope that happens. I don't know. I don't know what will happen. But you're right. Ten Hag is the supremo, the main man. So that's what I want.
I mean,
Mr. B, sorry, can I ask you what do you think about all this? Because I think it's really interesting what's going on.
I didn't look at it. I'll be honest. When I heard it, I didn't look at it as a job interview. I looked at him more as him trying to get to know the players. But I think the job interview line is really a good idea, because if they want to stay, they have to try and impress him. If they've given Ralph any, not saying back chat, because, things happen, but lack of motivation, these are things that Ten Hag he's gonna have it right in front of him. So I've never heard it being done. I think it's a great idea. I'm just interested to know if he will be trying to change the minds of any players who, maybe Tony Martial, for instance. He's been wanting to go for a little while. Ten Hag might be able to say to him, do you want to stay? I see things in you that you're shaking your head, but, he might see things in Martial that he might be able to use. At the moment, Martial's got everything. To me, it's an attitude problem. It might be a motivation thing. It might be to need to hear that new voice, So I'm really interested to see which way the conversations are going. Maybe it's going to be players who want to stay, for example, and he's saying no. Talk to your agent now, get things sorted out, so that when I come in, you're not here. And that would mean we're not talking about the Jessies. I'm not going to put any players out there because I have no idea, but that again could be something going out there. So I can't wait. I can't wait for the leaks to start, or maybe they'll stop. Maybe we won't hear anything, and would we prefer not to hear anything at all?
Well, there's Rush Barnes in the house. He's saying Martial's getting booed by Seville fans, and that's a great opportunity he had there to go on loan and do something really special and come back to the club, but or put himself in on the market for the Spanish football or somewhere else. But he's not doing himself any favors at the moment, is he?
No, not at all. Monday, do you want to go through a couple of these?
Yeah, sure. Let me just
while you're on the screen.
So we've got a few people in the house, the usuals. Suspects. First of all, guys, if you're watching right now, press the like button for us, please, and we can go from there. Yeah, big up to Matthew Bassett, one of our favourites. Matthew, thank you so much for your contributions in the comments, not just here, but after the show as well. Really good conversations we have. Yank talking smacks in the house. He says, big up the panel. Been watching the Forest Fulham game. First half, Garner has been the best on the pitch. That's really, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Nice.
Pat Lawless in the house. He says, Connor, that's great to hear about Garner. Yes, it is good news, isn't it, Pat? Yeah, Garner is ready to be in the squad next year, says Connor. We've got Rush Marno in the house. How you doing, Rush? Matthew Bassett is saying Ten Hag needs to tell them they're fired. Who said that? Is that and Donald Trump. You're fired, Imagine that. That would make great TV, wouldn't it? Tally 247 in the house. Just giving us a thumbs up. Let's see what you think, Tally. Put your comments in there. Let's see what you want to know what you think about all this. MUFC Old School is saying he wants to keep Fred, and that is Paddy's.
I mean, look, we say keep Fred. Obviously, he's been given a tenner by Solo, by Monza. So yep. If you want Fred to stay.
That's true. And Paddy by the looks of it as well. Matthew Bassett saying Tuchemani is going to Liverpool. We haven't even decided on prioritising a set player. We're falling even further behind. Pat Lord is saying the reason for that is that we can't bin every player. Defensive players are more important at the moment. Eddie's in the house. How you doing, Eddie? Don't forget to check out his channel. Eddie Football Waffles in the name. He said, big up to the Man United agenda and everyone else. I'm dropping a like. Hag Zoom. The Hag Zoom call sounds like hype. He's still got Ajax to focus on. Okay, yeah. Have they won the league yet or is it still going on? Rushmano is saying Rangnick has already collated info on all players and passed it on to Eric. We've had 2 managers, says Yank, to make an impression under. If they haven't, then ship them out, I think he's trying to say.
Yeah.
And who else in the house? Half time with Vaughan. He says, all right, lads, this City game is intriguingly amazing. What about the show, man? What about the show? Ten Hag Zoom meeting is absolute moronic thing. He says, I can't believe it's true. Well, maybe it is true. I believe it's true.
Why wouldn't it be true? And why would it be moronic? Is more. He needs to have time to talk to them. I said, look, he can't do Ajax. He's not going to call them when he's at work, but he can call them when he's at home. It's his own free time. Sorry, did I cut you off there, Paddy?
No, not at all. No.
Oh, sorry. I saw your lip jump. Sorry, bruv.
Yeah.
That was me. Look, another couple of things that we're talking about. The obviously players, him talking to players. Brandon Williams today came out with a statement that I like when players, well, anybody states their true feelings, regardless of whether people think they're talking bullshit or whether people think they're talking the truth. But a couple of quotes from him. Look, he's been in and out. He was in and out under Daniel Farker at Norwich. Since Dean Smith came in, he's played 27 games in all competitions. What he did say, quote, unquote, what I want to do next year is play for Man United at left back. That's my job. And this was in the Norwich match day program. This wasn't on his Twitter. So this is to the club that he has been playing his trade at. He's letting them know, one, he's not staying, and he's letting Rangnick know and Ten Hag that he's coming to hold down the place. That's what I'm determined to do because it's my life and I'll do anything for that. I know I can play in this league and I know I can get to the top, and that's what I want to do. Quote, unquote, from the young gentleman. Impressed? unimpressed? Do you think he's got a chance? Do you think he hasn't got a chance? Do you think Ten Hag will give him a chance? And I'm going to put this to you, Paddy.
Do you know what? I like Brandon Williams. I do. I think he's one of our best left backs we've got, better than all the left backs we've got at the club at the moment. I really do. I think he's got a bright future. I know he had to go on loan to Norwich because he had to get some game time. He wasn't getting, but I do like when the kid did start for us. I've got a big strong liking for his attitude and how he's quick. I do like Brandon Williams, and for him to come out and say I'm going to fight for my place when he comes back, I think that's great. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really good. So I've got a big liking for him, Mr. B. I have for a long time. There's one kid I really like at left back for us. I really do. He even reminds me of the young players that come through the battle. I think I do like him. I really do like him. I've got a sneak. I do like him. I really do.
So, Brandon Williams. All right, I think he came on the scene. Done all right. He done all right when he first came on because of the hunger. He emerged in it, stepped up, played Premiership football. It's a big step up from boys to men's football, and he proved that he's a decent player. But then he sort of plateaued a bit and wasn't very impressive. I think he's not Cancelo. Now, he's not an inverted fullback. He's right-footed predominantly. Now, what frustrated me is that when he get to the byline, through effort and through work, he'd get down there. He wasn't able to whip in across immediately with his left foot. He'd always try and cut back onto his right. So I don't like the idea of him playing left back. And him actually, again, highlighting that he is a left back in the programme notes, you know. I think he should be fighting for a right back slot because he's right-footed. I don't understand why you want to play that in that position. Secondly, I don't think he's good enough for Man United. I can't see us winning leagues or anything like that. We were talking yesterday about Phil Neville being a jack of all trades, can play in various positions, play them well, but not outstanding. I think the same applies for Brandon Williams. He can play left back well, he can play right back well, but he's not outstanding at either position. If we're going forward, I don't mind maybe for the next couple of years while we're rebuilding, but ultimately he's not going to be. I've seen enough from him to know there's not going to be that jump from this level to like a Premiership great or call-ups to England and that kind of thing in his position. I just don't see that happening with Brandon Williams. So I like his attitude to say he wants to try his best to get there. Maybe on attitude alone, he can get a thumbs up. But from what I've seen talent-wise, I wouldn't be keeping him at the club. I don't know what you think, Mr. B, but for me, Brandon Williams has had enough games now to show something, and he hasn't really sort of turned my head that much.
Do you think so? He's played. I'm going to put this to you, Paddy. He's played 50 games. He played 50 games for us before he went back, before he went out on loan. You don't think he proved anything in those 50 games?
He's young though, Mr. B. He's young, isn't he? He's a youngster, and a lot of players go out on loan. Beckham and all those good players have gone out on loan to get experience, and he's done that. I get what Omondi says, and I'm so on this ball with, as you know, how strong I am about some of the players in this team aren't of the standard of Manchester United, and maybe he isn't. He's not Cancelo, as Omondi says. I'll get that. To be fair, that's my only little small doubt I have about Brandon. If he's not going to make it, we do need better in these positions, defense positions. So there's a small doubt because these players have got to go. They've got to come in and make it their own, or they disappear off the face. They leave. But you're right. We need better because these players aren't of the standard Man United. They're not centre backs, right back, left back. They're not. That is it. They're just not. They're not Liverpool couldn't have these players. Nor could Man City. They wouldn't get in their teams. That says a great deal, doesn't it? That's what I think it's to be.
Can I just quickly go because there's a lot of comments about Brandon Williams here. So Yank talking smack is saying Williams have been solid for Norwich this year. Would sell Telles and have Williams back up for sure now. Focus on other areas before left back. But after I'm saying it can't be how it's been reported. This is talking about the Zoom calls for the players to grass up their teammates. He's not going to make it. I don't know about that. Pat saying Brandon 100%. He has heart and Eric's guidance. He give the lad a chance. He's saying. Finally, Tally's giving a comment now. He's saying he's got a bright future. Williams. Another one for Williams saying Williams and Fernandez for left back next season. Sell Tellers and Shaw. Guys, go and have a look at these two players if you want to have a true assessment. They're good players. But after I say, I personally think Ashley Young has been a far better than him this season. Give him a chance, but I'm not sure we can rely on him to get back to get into top 4 as a squad player. Lambert in the house. How you doing, Lambert? Welcome to the channel again. He said, Brown is absolutely good enough. We are spending 50 million on fullbacks. We aren't spending 50 million on fullbacks anytime soon. Academy player says, Yank says, academy player with hunger to play well, play here and do well, needs to be given a chance. William can be left back. Ten Hag likes to use inverted wide players. Plus, yes, he gives coverage at both fullback spots. That's a good point, actually. Emmy Old School saying, if you're relying on fullbacks for crosses, what the hell does it say about our wingers?
Class.
Rushmano saying, I like Williams, but I'm not sure he's top quality. I like him, but it might be the United Youth hope taking over my thoughts. That's a good one. And any more for Brandon Williams? Yep, got Sue in the house. She said, get Brandon back. Better than Teller's youth is good. Thumbs up from her. Yeah.
This one, Paddy, I think this was for you about your lights going.
Oh yeah, my lighting. I'm okay. Yeah.
Can we all light a candle for Paddy, please?
Look,
I curse the darkness, but I love the light.
Oh, I like that quote. I like
JFK,
that quote.
JFK, I'm on there. JFK.
We've got a couple of our younger, what do we call them? Our future stars. We've got a few of our future stars out on loan at the moment. Mengi, we've got out. We've got James Garner and Ethan Laird. Now, obviously, James Garner is the one who everybody's talking about, including us on the agenda. We're not going to go too much into him. We did a little rundown about him on Friday on the takeaway. So if you want to go and have a look at that, we had a Forest fan on who goes to their games home and away, and his opinion might surprise you. So as I said, look, we'll talk about him. We'll talk about James Garner a little bit more briefly than the rest of them. So I said, if you want to have a look at that, by all means, tune into that one. That was the show, the takeaway on Friday night. Garner, on Monday, I didn't have a time to talk to you, so it's good. And Paddy, again, didn't get to talk to you on Friday. I was on there with Talk. So opinions on Garner?
Yeah, I watched your show, and I would advise everyone to watch the show. It's good to get insight from a fan that's actually watching him for the last couple of years since he's been on loan at Nottingham Forest. Always rave reviews. I mean, we were blessed to see him in the FA Cup playing against Premiership teams. What more experience do you want than that? And he always performed. He was almost man of the match every game. James Garner is a good player. Now, technically very good, very diligent with his technique, with his free kicks, with his set pieces, with his corners. He gets the ball. He plays very simple game. People thought that he might be a bit lightweight, but that doesn't matter for Eric, because Eric Ten Hag likes players to have the technical first and the physicality can come later. I think James Garner's the time is just right for him. I think a season ago, we were all questioning whether he'd be moved on, whether he'd make it, that kind of thing. But this is a blessing in disguise. To have a manager like Ten Hag come in, who does bring in players and likes players of his mould, who he could be the new Frankie de Jong for us. He can play like Frankie de Jong in that sort of role. That's exactly what he does. So I think James Garner must be skinning teeth right now, knowing that he's got an opportunity here to really step and take his future up. And when he looks like he plays the under-21s with players like Conor Gallagher and Palmer from Man City in that midfield three, and those two other guys have really stepped up. Palmer's going to get engaged with Man City, and he's really proved what talent he is. And we know what Conor Gallagher's doing. I mean, one season at Crystal Palace, his loan move is even better than Nottingham Forest because he's playing in the Prem. And he's really demonstrated that he's a great player. So you need that opportunity. And I think James Garner now, he's the name on everyone's lips. And I'm sure playing under Ajax coach and coming into the club now this summer, he's going to be biting a bit to get a first team place. And people are starting to say to themselves, he should be playing, because it's about the style of play. We don't want McTominay running around without that technique. We want technique first, and then he can build in other areas of the game later. So James Garner, for me, is a dead cert for the squad, and I would like to see him holding that number 6 position and playing deep and helping us build from the back.
Paddy.
Interesting. No, Armando was a very, very good summary of James Garner. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I think he's done a great job for Forest. He's 6'1". He's 21. He's 21 years of age. I think he's taking his chances at Forest. I really do. But I know from what I read, you can correct me on this, Mr. B. But listening to the Forest fan on your takeaway, did he say he wasn't ready? He wasn't ready to go. He wasn't ready, in his opinion. Seen him ready for him to go to United, back to United next season, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, really, it was weird. He completely, you know, we sat down. Obviously, I didn't let him know what questions I wanted to ask him.
Yeah.
And he spoke about him glowingly. And then when he said he doesn't think he's ready for Man United, and I thought maybe he was doing it tongue in cheek to say he wanted him to stay another season, but he was dead serious. He was dead serious.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. So that must give a. I think he may need another year. It's not going to kill him. It's not going to hurt him. I don't think, to give him another season. I think that's a really good idea. Then bringing him back into the squad, I think it'll give Ten Hag another look at him when he is at Forest. It's a good idea, isn't it, when the players get on loan? But also as well, my view is he going to be bringing 2 or 3 players in that position. Is Ten Hag is he going to strengthen that position possibly? But it doesn't mean he's not going to get a game when he comes back in. But yeah, that was really interesting. But I like him. I do like him. He's one of the glowing stars for me. I think really he's got a chance. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. I do. I like him.
Oh, that seems to be quite unanimous here. Anything on Garner in the chat there, OMONDI?
Oh yeah, plenty on Garner. One of Garner's teammates is a guy called Spence. He's on loan from Middlesbrough. He's been
brilliant.
And we need a right back, but we're going to talk about right back in a minute. But he's getting bigged up here from Palms. How you doing, Palms? And also just want to say hi to Scepter as well. He said, "Good evening, folks or guys. Good evening, man." So here we go. Just a quick one here. Like we bought 60 million per worth of youngsters in Ahmad Palestri, and they haven't really gone on to do anything. So it's all about loan. Where you go on loan. Loans have been success at Nottingham Forest for Garner, but not everyone's been a success, as we move on and discuss in a minute. Spence, Yank talking smack is also endorsing Spence. He says he's insane. He's been bossing it today, cut out 2, 3 or 4 passes, and nearly skinned 3 Fulham players at once. That's amazing. That's a good endorsement there. Just on Garner again, Bath Times put out there, is James Garner as good as Harry Winks? I know Bath Time likes Harry Winks. So that's a good question. Yank saying Garner is Forest's main set-piece player, very good at putting in corners right on the penalty spot every time. Rush Mano is saying Garner is better than average. We know who that is. Bath Time saying he might have a higher ceiling, but I doubt he's better right now. Talking about Winks, I imagine. And finally, we're saying here, he's up there with Winks right now. This is talking smack back to Bath Time. He says he's right up there with Winks right now and could easily be Matic prime levels in the future. Yeah, very interesting points here. Well, for the last one here, Garner's class, says MUFC Old School, deserves a chance. Fred and Garner in midfield.
Look,
there's plenty more, but yeah.
While we're talking about Garner, look, this is Garner with a different spelling.
All away from Garner, maybe. Yes, Yahuzu, Mohammed. Yeah. How you doing, brother? Man United fan, welcome to the channel. Where you from? Let us know in the comments where you're from exactly. It's nice to have you on board. And I'll read out your comment now. You're saying, I love this show. Watching you live from Ghana. Hey!
Yo!
Nice. Man United has to get rid of many players, he's saying. Of these players, cost most of them can't even start for Leicester City, let alone being first in players for Man United. Good shout. Good observation as well. Whereabouts in Ghana are you? And you got any fufu for me?
We got. That's completely from my head.
Have you guys tried fufu?
It looks disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. If I've offended, I don't. You know what it is? I don't do potatoes. I don't do yam. So anything that color,
I like.
It does my nut. Yeah, it does.
My sister married a Ghanaian guy, and so I've got to know all about the foods, the culture, everything else. Beautiful country, and my boss is Ghanaian as well. So
and they love football. They're mad football fans. Well, they love football in Ghana. Yeah. Love football. Love it.
God, that's completely thrown me off.
Thumbs up to me for James Garner. Bring him back. Let him give him a number. Give him a squad number. He deserves it.
Ethan Laird on loan at Swansea. 22 games for Swansea he's played. Oh, my back. Sorry. Something interesting. What do we see, Garner? What do we see Ethan Laird as? Right back? That's what
Wing
we know
back,
him as.
right back.
Of the 22 games he played for Swansea, 21 of them were at right midfield. He had 3 assists in the Championship, 1 assist in the EFL. He's now playing at Bournemouth, where he's only played 5 games. I'm not sure if there was a reason why he moved, if he was playing all of those games for Swansea. I'm not privy to those type things. I know on Monday he's got a mic in the changing room. I'm not sure it picked up any information on that one right there. But do we see it as a possibility that he can come back? I know we're not too happy with maybe both of the fullbacks. One defensively, one offensively. Laird, does he have a chance? Will we be able to give him an opportunity, Paddy?
Do you know what? It comes back again to about a month. Amanda was saying earlier about you take these players on loan and they've got to then seize their chance. Really, I don't think this lad's done it. I know he's not got at Bournemouth. Scott Parker he hasn't given him a chance. He hasn't given him a chance really. He's not many appearances at Swansea. I don't know what's gone on there, as you've just said, but I don't know whether or not he's got that. I don't know whether or not he's got that. He's got that bit to do it. You know, young players are great to these clubs. They've got to shine. They've got to come out. They've got to shine. Like Garner's done it, hasn't he? But these players have got to shine. Otherwise, there's problems. You know, I don't think this lad's done it. I mean, I might be putting him out there, but I don't think he'll come into our thinking into those positions. Mr. B, no, I don't. Not with this lad. No.
Okay.
Whoa, guys! Right. I'm saying this now. This is about the poor management of our club. We sent him to Swansea City. Now, Swansea are the originators of possession football in the UK in the last 20 years. They've really set a standard, getting themselves all the way into the Premiership and representing really well in the Prem for a period of time with their possession stats. You go look at the possession stats in the Championship now. They're still doing it. They're still playing the same way that they have, for a long time now. Brendan Rodgers, he was at Swansea as well. So many good managers have passed through there. Now, I think it's Russell Martin at Swansea now. He utilised our boy Ethan really well. Like you said, he was playing in the right midfield or he's playing as a right wing back, and he was really, really effective in a possession-based side, which is something similar to what we might get at Ajax, not Ajax. I'm gonna call us Ajax from now on. We will be identical, but what we might get at Man United very soon is a possession-based side, really good football, good technique, and everything else. And he fitted that down to the ground. Man United were greedy and felt, okay, enough of this. Let's send it to Bournemouth because Bournemouth might get promoted and they might be playing at a high level. And since then, Scott Parker turned his nose up and said, no, we don't need him. And he's getting replaced for other guys because maybe they're going for, he wants reliable guys who are proven in the Championship to help him with his promotion push. But that was a bad decision to bring him away from Swansea City. He was having a ball out there. And I just think that's the kind of decision-making with no thought about it. So I don't know what's going to happen with Ethan, but I think he's a good quality player. And I think he is someone, when you look at Desk from Ajax, when you look at the Moroccan guy they got there now, when you look at going back to, oh God, who's the Tunisian guy? People in the comments, who was that Tunisian guy who used to play for Ajax? Right back. I forget his name now, but he was just similar, really quick, fast. And
didn't go guys who can play.
No, not him. No, not him. It was years ago. This is like 10, 15 years ago.
Oh,
he used to play for
Ajax,
right,
really?
Tunisian. Yeah, Tunisian. Black Tunisian guy. But anyway, I think he suits the style of play. Swansea got something out of him, and I think we can get something out of him as well. As you see with the balance, when you're watching Ajax now, they've got these marauding right backs who've got good technique. They're quick. They can get back in position. And all I want to know about this young man is, has he got the IQ and the learning curve to learn what the manager wants from him, our new manager? That's the most important thing, because he's got the attributes. He's quick, he's fast, he's technically good, and he can drive defenders and force people back. So I think there's a lot to promise there for this player. So it'd be really interesting to see what happens with him.
Monday, I think this is to you. Do you mean Anglemar?
No, that's from Valencia from the 2000s and before.
Yeah, I know the one you're about Monday. I can't remember his name.
I'm going to look it up now. Tunisian international.
I'm not even going to sit here and pretend that I know who the hell you're talking about.
I remember it. The Monday. We're the fathers of the house, so we should know, really, shouldn't we?
Oh, thank you very much. I'll take that all day, Paddy. Thank you very much.
You're young
Fathers
and
of the house.
young at
I
heart,
think,
you are, Mr. B.
Trubisky, Hatam Trubisky.
Oh, no, I don't think I've even heard of him.
Chabelski, Hakan Chabelski. I've got him in,
Yeah.
That was the guy, really marauding. Similar to Anglemar. That's a good shout for half time. Similar kind of player. Anyway, yeah. What do you think about Laird?
I want everybody to be given a chance. I know my issue is, obviously we coach a little bit on Monday, and mine is to try and give everybody that last chance until they exhaust it. And that's probably an issue that I've got. So I'm hoping that he's not be like me. These players don't show that ruthlessness, that desire from the first 2 weeks. Ship him out. Teden Mengi. He's played 11 Premier League 2 games. What is Premier League 2? Is that the one where they play like the Barnsley reserves? I don't understand. What is Premier League 2? Can somebody in the chat please explain to me? Because I have absolutely no idea. He's played 11 of those games and he's played 9 for Birmingham. Has he been injured? I think he's been injured a lot, because I thought he had been there the whole season. For him to have only played 9 games.
He got injured in April, Mr. B, at Birmingham, and that's the reason why he hasn't had that many games.
So it's only... God, I'm living in a time warp. We're in April, end of April coming up.
Yeah, so...
4 weeks. I mean, that's a weird one. His name, I know, he's highly thought of amongst the ranks, but I'll be honest, I'm not too up to date on what he's been doing. Is there anybody here on Monday, or Paddy?
Well, he's at Birmingham, but there hasn't been much said about them. Chong's been the standout at Birmingham, not this lad. I don't think they've not seen much of him really to give an opinion really properly. But he's a centre back, isn't he? But again, he just hasn't had that chance. So it's probably early days really to think to give this kid a verdict on him. Chong is shining all the day long. They love him at Birmingham, Chong. Then the
thing is, though, they love him, but he's been injured for 17 games with a groin injury. He's played 19. Don't get me wrong, he's played 19, but he's been out for a big chunk of that season.
But before that, he was shining.
Yeah, they loved him. Sorry, Amande, we didn't even get you a chance to have your bit on Ted and Mengi. Sorry, bro.
But I'm really like you, bruv. You've been on the show. At first, I thought you were a troll, but now you're part of the family. I love your comments, and I love you coming with. You might be throwing daggers.
Have you seen the show, Bernard?
The guy here, Bernard, is a baller, a roughneck baller. Sorry, excuse my he's a roughneck baller. So yeah, good shout with this guy, because I like this guy even over. I think he's clear of Mengi. And now Mengi's been at Derby. I think he had rave reviews there. He was playing right back a lot of the time and not really playing his best position, which maybe should be centre back. The only thing I think Mengi's got on his side, he's young and he's hungry. And I think when you look at players like Timber, who suddenly has got a value of like 40, 50 million, I don't think he's that far behind, because he's another short centre back. Sorry, Mr. B, but he's another short centre back who's aggressive, who's quick. We saw him. He played a game for Man United and he slipped. I can't remember who it was against. He slipped and got up again and made a last-ditch block on a guy, and everyone was like, "Oh wow, that's great," But I think they've all got an opportunity. When you're young, they're athletic, they're fast, they've got all the attributes. But I just don't think this. Once again, the loan deals. There's not much thought going into them, and we're not getting the best out of our players. We want to send someone on loan that's going to be like Garner. Ideally, we want that sort of success rate all the time. I know you're not going to get it, because managers can come in, different managers can come in, say, I don't fancy you anymore, that kind of thing. But I think poor Mengi, has been at Derby, had a decent spell there, but now they've moved him again. And I think that's unsettling for the young man. He needs to find a place, find a partner, because usually when you go to clubs, even in the Championship, you're going to have, especially centre-back pairings, you're going to have a pair in there, which is going to be hard to break into, even if someone's like 37 years old and thing. There's still going to be that sort of click thing going on with certain things like that. So you can't expect, if you want to be winning promotion again, why are you going to give an opportunity to a young guy who, is not part of your club and not going to come take you forward? So there's a lot of pros and cons to having loan signings. But Mengi's always been highly spoken about. But I always think I can't even remember his name. Tanzabi, sorry. I always thought he was a decent prospect. Now, I was talking about Mengi having a great recovery challenge and block. But I'm talking about, when you talk about Tanzabi, he had a great game at PSG. And then since then, he was shut down. I know Mr. B's nodding now. He knows.
Yeah,
he knows. This guy's quick,
he was mustard. He shut down Mbappe in that game. He did stuff that I just thought,
exactly. And stood up with him, all that kind of
thing.
He
got injured. I think he got injured at the wrong time. He
was at Aston Villa though, Mr. B, and they loved him. Then he went back on loan to Villa. It never worked out there for Tanzabi. It didn't. I think he got an injured back. I think he got an injury.
He got injured, yeah, and now he's at Napoli, and he's not getting a kick.
Can I just add one point as well? I just think it's when you look at the percentage of players coming through, because at the end of this season, a new batch of under 14s or 15s will come into the club. So it's like that. What percentage of players do you think actually make it to the first team?
Small.
It's small. Do you think that percentage was increased coming up now with what we got coming with our new era?
I mean, I think
the percentage of players coming through Ajax is a lot higher than most big clubs.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. But the thing is as well, Omondi, you got to remember they sell their players so young that they have to have the replacement ready. You know, it might be a 17-year-old which they keep for 2 years who replaced a 21-year-old who they kept for 2 years. So their thinking is very rigid in what they do. They always have a backup plan. They always have somebody else who come into the with. Look, De Jong left. They've got Martinez playing the role now. They you know, they know what they're doing. This is what we need to be doing. No, it's not always about going out and buying stuff. I would love nothing more than to have another five come through our from our younger team. You know, oh God, wow, we've been talking for 47 minutes, guys.
Can we get some likes out there, guys? Give us some likes, please, if you're watching right now.
Yeah, if you're still watching, hit those likes. On Monday, before we go and have something to eat, you know what I'm like on a food time. Want to go through some more of these messages before we say bye to the guys?
Yeah. So really and truly, I think there's a lot of conversations going on here. I just want to catch up on one conversation, which normally, if we were in the pub, I'd be well into this. But we're talking about, we mentioned Anglamar. He's one of the really marauding right backs from way back. And then since then, it's gone on to Mendieta and talking about that great Valencia side that reached 2 Champions League finals. I remember they came to Liverpool with Pablo Alma a long time ago, and when Benitez was there, and completely outplayed them. When Benitez was at Valencia, and completely outplayed them. So Roy Mackay, Deportivo, that was a great side as well. But Bath Times reminiscing there. Just want to talk about Mengi. Sorry, I'm not getting his name right. But MUFC Old School says Mengi is only 19, so needs another loan next year in the Championship. That's probably true. We were talking about the guy Bernard, and Bart was the one who brought him up, and I think he's at Hull at the moment. And I think we should all do our homework, guys. Go and check this guy out. He's a bit of a beast. He would say that Bernard has been good at Hull this season. Just coming through again, MUFC is saying Bernard was at Salford for a time and then went to Hull for 6 months. I'm skipping guys, but we're gonna, we can't get everybody. Bath Time thinks it's about 1% of youth players and people in academies actually make it to the first team. That's not much, is it? That's very, very. Your chances are really limited, aren't they? But do you think that will increase Bath Time? Do you guys think that will increase with our new manager? Tunzabi was under John Terry at Villa and improved a lot. That was in the Championship, wasn't it? And now he's struggling on loan at Italy. And SHAH in the house. SHAH saying Tunzabi had a lot of injuries, even in his time at the academy. He's had consistent problems. Angel Gomez. Someone's talking here about Angel Gomez, which really hurts my soul. Yeah. Never won the league at Lille. He was at Boa Vista. Yeah, he signed for Lille, went straight to Boa Vista for a season, and now he's back at Lille, and he's getting the odd game here and there and getting great experience as well. And finally, sorry, before we do, Claudio Lopez, Argentine, left-footed, really good. He was top goal scorer in La Liga once. Also, he played for Valencia. They had a great team. And Bart saying, I heard Man City is selling Bernardinho. He is the best Matic replacement.
See, look, see, you start, you're so nice, and then you're not so nice, Bart. But you know what? It's always a pleasure to have you on here, man.
Yeah.
With this, I'm going to leave this. Palms, P-palms. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. With that, guys, it was a pleasure working with you guys tonight, man. As always, it's a pleasure talking to you guys in the chat, and we keep saying it. Without you guys, we're nothing. We're on the road to 1,500. Please keep sharing, keep liking.
Come on.
Keep hitting that notification bell. Again, without us, we're nothing. This is us from the Man United Agenda. We're back again, 8:30 tomorrow. On Monday, I'll let you finish. Sorry, brother. I see you holding.
Yeah, guys. So, yeah, just going to say about the show tomorrow. And also, guys, if you want to continue this conversation, if you want to reminisce about Valencia, or you want to talk about anything else, put it in the comments after the show. I will be there. I will be there. Let's have a discussion about this. I wish you guys were around my house right now discussing all this stuff. I wish we would have to go. Because just get into that. But anyway, yeah, big up, guys. Thanks for the comments.
Paddy.
Yeah, look, brilliant. Great again. Yeah. Let's just look forward, mate, because we just don't know. The future's, uncertain, and we need to see what happens regards to these young players coming through and they're going to make it or not. But Ten Hag, come on, this is it. This is the new horizon. The sun is shining up and it's coming up. It's going to be a brand new shining sun in our club. We need some sunshine, bro.
We need sunshine.
And you need more light in your house, Paddy. As
Andy
Herbert was saying, yeah.
There you go. And I need food. With that, guys, we're out. Blessings. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Okay.